And just as the whistle blows, we're back for the 23 and under division. It's a prelim final between New South Wales and Queensland. The winner will play Victoria tomorrow night here at Janea Netball Centre here in Sydney. Joining me in commentary for this one is the New South Wales Open mixed coach, Drew Malvina. Drew, nice to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. So we'll just run through the starting lineups for both sides as Queensland get us underway. So Bryson O'Connor, the goal shooting circle for New South Wales. Edwards, George and Bain, the midcourt. And in defence they have McCann and Sprouts. And for Queensland, Melsheimer, McIntyre, Burton, Spinks at centre, Coles, Joblin and Branch. The way they started against Victoria last night.
Seems like Queensland has started better at the two. Took New South Wales about 4 passes to get past that attacking transverse line.
So Queensland convert the first break. McIntyre, Melsheimer had a big game last night. Fakes out, goals. George, Edwards, O'Connor.
Once again, they're taking about 6 passes to get on that circle. They've got a big unit in there. They can't find him.
Just have a bit of hesitancy to feed into Stephen Bryce. So time called as we grab a bib. Oh, good hands from Joblin, and again, Bryce gets his first attempt.
That might settle the nerves down.
Burton, McIntyre, Spinks. Held on that occasion. The two sides have played 3 times already over the past 4 days. Queensland winning the first game by 4. New South the second by 6. And again yesterday by 4. So some very close margins in the division. Bryce. Goal counts.
Let's see if New South Wales can convert that.
Edwards looks out to O'Connor. Edwards looked to Bryce but didn't want to throw it in.
Once again, it's about half a dozen passes around that attacking transverse line. Not once have I looked into Stephen. Whereas Queensland just turn and look into
Travis Melsheimer.
Yep, and
that's the reason why.
That's it. That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Burton. McIntyre didn't shoot too many yesterday and he's happy to offload to Melsheimer. He scores his first 5 without a miss. So 5-2 to Queensland. Not 4 minutes gone in the first quarter.
There's absolutely no depth in that second phase from New South Wales.
Yeah, they're really offering in front of their play, but they're not driving to the ball, so they're not creating any space behind them.
One thing Queensland are doing well, there's not any penalties here. They're just building pressure, and you can see that on the pass there. Short into row 3 of the grandstand.
Coles now looking to push Queensland into attack. Contact from O'Connor. Joblin. Spinks. McIntyre looks straight in. The ball was probably on. Burton swings it out to McIntyre. And no-look pass to Melsheimer.
It's a good start here for Queensland.
(6-2) with the centre pass to follow. Spinks, Burton, McIntyre. Back to Spinks. Flicks it in, but good hands from Sprouts then.
You hear the New South Wales coaching bench yelling out, look down, and not one of them has looked down. They're looking at that first option. You don't know what's happening down the court.
Oh, Branch, too strong in front of Bryce.
It's just a typical feed into the body, not into space. Got to make Stephen Bryce work for that ball. That's exactly what Queensland are doing.
Ooh, step there from O'Connor. So 7-2 after 6 minutes. That's a very handy start, given that their scores have been quite low scoring between the two sides. The highest score between their three contests is just 46 goals. New South Wales reported that on day 2. So to have 7 goals in less than half a quarter, that's a fast start from Queensland.
Semi-finals are a different ball game, and it looks like Queensland has settled well. Look at once again, they just turn and hit Travis.
1-2, 1-2, 1-2, fakes, and gets his own rebound.
Sprout's eyes were looking at his shoes then. Should have been having those eyes up.
That's the ball that
There
you
it is.
want from Edwards. Finds Bryce on the first look to the circle.
It's only taken us 7 minutes for it to happen.
McIntyre now. Burton on the front. That ball to the wrong side of the body of Melsheimer. Just some hesitancy on the passing from New South Wales. No drivers coming forward.
This whole half of this court, there's not one person on it.
Edwards, George, the high ball into Bryce.
Difference in those last 2 feeds into space.
So that's the break for New South, a chance to trim the lead even further. Halfway through the first term, 9-4 to Queensland. George now, O'Connor, back out to Edwards. Just a lack of communication in the New South Wales shooting circle. Branch looking for an option quickly. That was a bad pass, and Joplin really didn't drive into good space. O'Connor's first goal of the game.
Slight momentum shift here. I wonder if New South Wales can ride this way.
3 in a row for New South Wales. Melsheimer says that's enough of that. He's 10 from 11 already. Edwards. Back to Bain. Edwards. Coles with the obstruction. That was a good fake, and then a good look from George. Bryce with his 5th. 10-6 to Queensland. McIntyre now. Cross court to Burton. Sprouts had a look. McIntyre, will he shoot? No, he'll pass.
Playing like a third feeder at the moment.
Yeah, Melsheimer's having a lot of the play his own way in the opening 9 minutes. Edwards. It's a better first look for first phase down court, but too much on it for Bryce. Big outlet from Coles, out of the hands of Joblin.
New South Wales is still passing 3 or 4 across this attacking transverse. They do a bit better this time.
Spinks mishandles and
there's 1, 2. Oh, that's a bit of double play there. Oh.
So we're just operating at 4s and 5s for the moment. Branch, McIntyre glides into the circle. Will he shoot though? Melsheimer still with all of Queensland's goals. Edwards now. O'Connor, he's too high, I think, on that first phase off centre pass.
That's better. That's better.
Oh, and Bryce mishandles, and those opportunities have come few and far between early on in this game.
Ooh. One thing you'll find with me, I'm a good commentator's curse.
That's happened to me too many times already.
That's it. Nice ball in there from McIntyre. He's controlling this attacking well, just attacking in well. New South Wales defenders will need to adjust to this.
Now, McIntyre just pops it up, but wasn't into a good position for Melsheimer to hit. It was a good tap by McCann. O'Connor.
Oh, you going to go outside? No, he did a good job
Good
there.
strength. Umpire was behind the play, didn't see the contest. Don't know if there was much in it. McIntyre just looked straight to the circle. Melsheimer, big split.
No goal.
No goal. For a step.
Yeah, I think she called it a step. Here we go. There's 5 New South Wales players around this attacking transverse again. There's absolutely no depth. No one's looking in the circle again. And when they do, they've got double players on and drop the ball.
Queensland have certainly stepped up the intense pressure. It was probably a little lacklustre in the final yesterday against Victoria in their last round match. They were down, I think, by about 15 at half time, and the margin wasn't much more than that at the end. So Queensland will be really happy with this start. 2 minutes to go, the margin's 5. They did score the first 3, but they seem to have the momentum so far. Bain and McCann look to drive it down. Edwards now looks to the circle, nothing on.
That's once again, it's taken 3, 4, 5 passes just to get the ball from that attacking transfers to the circle. That's something different. They're using that front feed now instead of just looking for Stephen. Won't these defenders change things up?
O'Connor misses a sit-up. Bryce double teamed. Queensland come up with it. Burton, McIntyre waits for help. Elects to go to Burton. McIntyre not wanting to shoot. It's an effective decoy for Melsheimer, but the ball still ends up in his hands.
First goal that's been scored in about 3 or 4 minutes.
And we're into the last 60 seconds of the quarter. Melsheimer with all 14 goals for Queensland. They've now doubled New South Wales' score, 14-7. It's a prelim final, so the winner of this game will play Victoria in the final tomorrow night. The loser says goodbye. Joblin up. He hung. Good backup by his teammates. Coles, Joblin, they're looking to the circle. Burton can't get there just in time. And at quarter time, Queensland lead New South Wales in the 23s prelim final, 14-7. So 14-7 to Queensland. Melsheimer, all of the 14 goals, 14 from 15. It's a true sign that New South Wales need to do a bit more work out the front because that ball is just getting to him anyway.
Yes, absolutely.
7 from 9 for New South for the term. So Bryce 6 from 7. O'Connor just the 1 goal.
Just shows you the dominance. It's nearly double the shots from Queensland over New South Wales, and the scoreline showing that as well. I think New South Wales might have come into this game thinking they've got this wrapped up within the 2 games, but Queensland has settled well. Now they've got to play catch-up netball.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they run this into half-time, whether they can make a comeback. They've still got 3 quarters to make up the 7 goals, and it's probably a bit crucial not to try and rush that and try and make up 7 goals in a quarter and burn yourselves out.
Just chisel away, is it? Chisel away. They've got the firepower out there to do it. I mean, they're bringing on Julian Vincent, I can see. He plays a similar role to Stephen, but a bit more height, a bit more movement.
So it might be an easier target to get to. And the mixed open coming up at 5:30 after this game, and then the open men's New South Wales and Queensland at 7 on the show court. Court 1 games can be shown at amna.com.au and netballscoop.com. Streaming partners game clothing. And Drew, you have the privilege of picking a medals to go player of the match also.
Beautiful. I think the McIntyre and Malmeisha have stepped up in the first quarter quite well, so they've come in the blocks well. There's absolutely no movement there in the New South Wales defensive circle. They're both just letting the Queensland duo just holding space, dictate terms.
See if they employ any tactics or whether they're just going to try and get some more score on the board in this quarter. 15 goals in the context of these 2 teams across the week so far, as Vincent just almost asks the poll to the awards night.
It's a new dancing routine that Jules has been practicing at training sessions.
Spinks now, McIntyre. Burton on the fly. Bain is down in back play. Wing defence for New South Wales. Some time called because of it. He's got to come off now.
Robert Wan's coming on a wing defence. I think that's how you pronounce his surname.
Apologies if not.
Yeah.
Edwards. He's driving hard on the circle, but then he seems to be sort of stuck when he gets into the circle. O'Connor needs to be willing to take the shot, because the Queensland defenders know that they're looking for Vincent in the first instance. So O'Connor 2 from 3. Spinks.
Looks like now the Queensland are getting stuck over the transverse line on this one.
Burton waiting for the cut from McIntyre. That was better play from McIntyre. Good shot to finish his first. Edwards had a look to Vincent. Wasn't on. And Branch gets the call. And the Queensland Open Men's are cheering loudly courtside. Good look-away pass into Melsheimer.
First opportunity in the second quarter to get for Queensland to get 3 in a row.
Melsheimer's holding high, but McIntyre just allowed time for McCann to head back to the circle. So it was on early, but neglected to pass. McIntyre was closer that time than he was to his previous shot. Don't know why he didn't take it. 5-2 start for Queensland at the start of the second term. 3.5 gone. Vincent out of court on that occasion. Branch will take the throw in. Joblin. Spinks offers. Coles. Quick 1-2. Branson. Coles. George mops up though. 1. O'Connor. Edwards. The two Queensland defenders, O'Connor cooks that pass. Two Queensland defenders are just happy to sit back on Julian Vincent and are making New South Wales.
O'Connor needs to drive through that circle and take one of those defenders off Jules, giving them some sort of opportunity.
Enjoys hanging out rather than just driving in to try and draw the defender. Burton down the middle, that was easy. McIntyre, quick pass. Was always going to Melsheimer. And Queensland hit 20. Spinks to Burton, drops it to McIntyre. He shuffles it back on. Spinks. Oh, beautiful ball from McIntyre. Saw the defender shift from Melsheimer's space. And the margin's 12.
Once again, Connor's just sitting back, no movement there. Like now he's swinging in. It makes it a lot easier when the goal attack does do that little front cut there. Leaves Julian 1-on-1, and the goal scored.
Vincent, 2 goals in 5 minutes. It's probably not the return that Queensland were anticipating by bringing him on the court. 1 good challenge on the ball to McIntyre. Spinks now. McIntyre decides to cut round the side. That opens up for Melsheimer. New South Wales with a centre pass.
Down 12.
They're down 12. They're going to need to make some inroads soon as Spinks has a crack. Contact on Branch
short
that
pass,
time. Joblin had a hand in. O'Connor out to Edwards. juggles it. O'Connor, quick ball onto Vincent. His hands were up. I thought he had one-handed possession. And Edwards, the ball was probably onto Vincent on that second look, but didn't pass it. O'Connor goes it alone. Spinks he's had the better of George. And that drops from McIntyre.
After that 6-1 start from Queensland, it's been goal for goal. Hopefully New South Wales can turn the tide by scoring here, getting a turnover.
Yeah, it's those 5-minute bursts at the start of the game, start of the quarter, that are just killing New South Wales at the moment.
Oh dear.
Vincent just wanted to keep it in play. It wasn't a great pass from O'Connor. McIntyre, Joblin, Burton, other side of the court. Not the best of passes. Yuan called for stepping. Looks a little bemused by it. McIntyre.
There's going to be a few bemused looks from some coaches this week, I think, from some of the stairs. Not mentioning any names about the New South Wales Opens coach.
There have been some faces made that are a little stronger than bemused as
That's
well,
it.
I think.
Yes.
Few red faces. McIntyre, smart, steps back. Melsheimer gets clobbered.
Such a Queensland indoor move, that, stepping back and hitting the shooter right in the guts.
And a timeout called, the umpire. That is a caution now on Sprouts.
There's frustration starting.
Yeah, creep into the New South Wales game. So Queensland have more than doubled New South Wales' score. Just over 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. I'm a bit reluctant to say that they're home and hosed at the minute, but they are looking infinitely better than New South Wales at the moment. That was a telegraphed ball.
And that's a coach's
Coach killer.
Killer, that one. But I'm guessing when you're up by 13, you could maybe get away with a pass two like that.
Vincent short.
Still bemuses me how shooters who are a foot away from the post still shoot short, especially when you're 6'80".
Technique, perhaps, Drew. Technique. Or lack thereof. O'Connor. That's a better build-up for New South Wales. Branch just mistimed it.
It's a mini run started from New South Wales. Let's see if they can continue it.
So 2 in a row for New South
There
Wales.
we go.
And a held ball now. Looking to close the half, the better of the two sides. Edwards. O'Connor lets it bounce to him. Julian should probably turn and shoot. Doesn't want to. Where he likes to be now.
It's 3 in a row.
Margin back to 10. Edwards looks straight in, as he should. Just couldn't handle the pass, Julian Vincent. But Edwards trying in vain to up the ante for his team. Now Branch is a little stuck. Spence offers some relief. Joblin. Some close checking from George on Spinks. Plays through it. Quick ball from McIntyre. He's got great hands. Melsheimer cops a knock to the face. McIntyre happy to net that. Queensland looking to extend the lead. New South Wales had a chance to cut it to single digits, but Just a lack of control at the moment. Top of the circle, Spinks. Hand from behind from Sprouts. New South Wales on the attack. Edwards now. Slide of the back foot. Just nothing on offer in the New South Wales attack end.
I think New South Wales have a bit more success when the goal defence is posting up on Jules. And maybe if O'Connor goes back and tries to draw the goalkeeper out, something different. He's got the keeper's got the jump in there, but the goal defence, even though he's taller, it seems to be a lot easier to get the ball in when he's in there. So O'Connor needs to really draw one of them out now, and it's just not quite happening at the moment. Once again. Had a few turnovers in the last few minutes, Queensland.
I feel like I'm at Wimbledon.
Yeah, that's it.
Burton was short. Just opens up for George. Quick ball in. Yeah, the decoy from O'Connor worked that time. So 13 from 15. Sorry, 7 from 8 this quarter for Julian Vincent. It's more than what Bryce was able to put on the board in the first quarter. It's still not enough.
That lateral ball is just not quite there for New South Wales.
Joblin just extends the Inspector Gadget arm. Burton on the fly. Nice little pirouette from McIntyre.
Maybe even if New South Wales just change things up, have Julian driving out for 1 or 2 passes, just to change something back here. Even though he is 6'8", he's going to lose his height.
You certainly can't make him any shorter.
No, that's right. I come up to his shoulders, but that's another story.
Yeah, Queensland have a lot of drivers in their attack, and New South Wales sort of wait till the ball's in a semi-good position before thinking about moving. It's just...
It's still very static, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not very fluid at all. They've brought the margin now back to 9, though. Under a minute to remaining until half-time, so they're still in it. They just need a couple of turnovers and to convert. Queensland have missed a few shots this quarter, but haven't been able to convert it down the other end. Another 10-goal quarter from Travis Melsheimer. O'Connor now. Edwards.
No communication there between the two centre courts in New South Wales.
One. George needs to look in soon. Oh, picked off by Coles. McIntyre backs up. There's not much time left on the clock. Joblin. Burton, got to look in the circle if they want to score before half-time. McIntyre, that was a poorly placed pass, but they're stuffing it around a little too much.
Still got plenty of time. There's still 10 seconds to go on the clock.
McIntyre goals on the half-time whistle. So Queensland extend their lead slightly over New South Wales into the half-time break. In the 23 and under preliminary final, they lead 27-17 at half-time.
Passion, dedication, fun, and fitness. What do all these things have in common? These are all the qualities of Game Clothing and our brand ambassadors, professional athletes Laura Langman and Stephanie Wood. Stay up to date with all the latest ambassador and product news at gameclothing.com.au.
So that last goal from Queensland wasn't registered before we went to the break, but it is 28-17 against New South Wales in the 23 and under preliminary final. The winner to play Victoria tomorrow evening. And joining me, I've got guests coming left, right and centre today. Grant Crocker, the AMNA president. Grant, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Michael.
So AMNA has been an association for 35 years.
34, I think.
34. We can round it up. That's fine.
Yes.
And the Australian Championships has been running for just as long. This is the biggest Australian Championships that we've ever had in terms of teams. What do you, I guess, credit that growth to?
Well, I think we have a great sport, and I think people just want to be involved. We try and get people to turn up and experience the competition, even if they just send one team from a state. But once they do it once, they all want to come back.
All states are represented by Northern Territory, and we have had a bit of interest, so we hope to get a Northern Territory team in over the next 2 years or so, which would be great, which would mean all states and territories are represented here. So looking at the schedule later on in the year, we have the Trans-Tasman Cup. And a tour to Papua New Guinea for the first time ever. How did that come about?
Papua New Guinea approached us 2 years ago about having a tour, and we thought it was probably too rushed last year, but this year we had a bit more time to plan it. They actually wanted an Australian Open men's and an Open mixed team, but probably a bit strong, and we didn't want to go there and thrash them, so we thought a reserves division men's and a reserve division mix would be more appropriate for their standard of competition.
And two teams also heading off to the New Zealand Nationals in September. Trans-Tasman Cup in October. This is the big one. It's been 4 years since Australia have hosted the Trans-Tasman Cup. Obviously, it alternates biannually between Australia and New Zealand. So this will be a true test of growth in terms of the coverage that we're going to be able to provide, and also in terms of hopefully a lot of spectators in the crowd in Adelaide.
So this is as far as men's and mixed is concerned, this is the elite. Australia and New Zealand are clearly the two strongest teams in the world, or countries in the world. And this year it's good because in the past we have had a 20s division play, but then New Zealand stopped doing that a couple of years ago, but now they've come back. And so it is going to be two junior teams, the 23s and the 20s, as well as Open men's and Open mixed. So it should give a bit to anyone who's interested in netball. And it will be very strong. It's always a particularly challenging time to play against New Zealand, as you can see from the women's. We have exactly the same issue here with the men's and the mixed. It is very challenging.
It's always lovely when you get to beat the Kiwis.
Oh, you always want to beat your brother, so...
It's like Christmas.
That's right.
And next year, Nationals again, more growth. What can we expect from AMNA and the states over the next couple of years?
I think, well, at the moment we have 42 teams, and there's still a bit of growth in some of those states. South Australia can probably grow a couple. Western Australia can grow 3. They haven't got any juniors. ACT can probably grow another team. So potentially in the next 2 years we will probably increase to 50 teams. So it'll be a much bigger tournament with all states and territories participate. And as you said, we've got interest from Northern Territory. We've actually got 3 umpires from Northern Territory participating. And so they're keen to help the local associations prepare teams, because they've obviously experienced it as an umpire, but they know that the local Northern Territory players would like it as well.
Well, it seems like there's plenty to look forward to for men's and mixed netball in the coming months before the end of the year and also in the future. Grant Crocker, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Michael.
And back to the game. Joblin was in front of that pass to Vincent. Margin just out to 12, 30 to 18, 2.5 minutes into the third term. Queensland have made one change, bringing Hamilton on at wing defence. Jason Coles takes a seat. New South Wales unchanged. Probably feel that this lineup is their best chance to claw it back as that ball goes through the hands of Spinks. Sproats, McCann, Ryan, O'Connor now, all down the same side of the court. It hasn't opened up the other side, so they're still working it around. Oh, good attempt from Branch. Spinks mops up. Joblin on the fly. Hamilton now. His foot was bandaged up pretty big yesterday. I didn't know whether he was actually going to take any further part in the tournament. Good to see him back out on court. A lot of sore bodies now as we head into day 5. Probably not so much the coaches, Drew.
Just my headache, man. Just my head. Too much thinking this week. Chopping and changing.
Mel Schirmer, such a strong hold, but yeah, I think off the foot of Edwards, he couldn't quite believe it. Back to Branch.
New South Wales have definitely come out a lot more intensity in this third quarter, but it's got a few balls in the first few minutes, but just can't convert it again.
Queensland now send the margin back out to 13. That's their biggest lead of the game. McIntyre releases before he steps. Burton just turns inside and out, and Schirmer does the same. It's a 4-1 start to Queensland. They've started the first 5 minutes or so of every quarter really well. It's 5-1 or 6-1 start, and it means New South Wales are just constantly chasing.
Add those two together, that's the difference so far. Those first 5 minutes of both quarters, or 3 quarters now. The New South Wales don't come off the court and just stay on there and just have that 5 minute start.
Yeah,
keep on moving.
Just reluctant to make any changes to get some sort of advantage in the opening minutes. McIntyre, we'll call that a pass, but I don't think it was. So 5 gone in the third. Queensland have almost penciled in as Yuan gets a good tip to it. Melsheimer thinks it was in his hands.
That's a better look.
First look, first ball, first phase, Vincent goals. Just a lack of attention being paid to McIntyre by McCann on the centre pass too. Probably needs to tighten it up, make it a little bit more difficult for Queensland to actually take the centre pass. Nice split from McIntyre. Can he finish? Another air ball. Sproats, Yuan. George to Edwards. Back to the transverse line. O'Connor just running around the back looking for an opening. Hamilton with quick hands. quick hands and a cool hairdo.
I was about to say that. Still pretty static in here. Connor's got to get that moving.
Branch, just great anticipation. Was up early and Joblin backed him up. So New South Wales took the title in 2016. Last year it was Victoria. So they're looking to go back-to-back tomorrow night. And they'll have had a good rest today too. Oh, Branch, another tip to it. And Vincent can't keep a handle on it. Starting to unravel again.
You just see the frustration in the faces of the New South Wales players. Hamilton just giving away a silly penalty. I think what New South Wales need to do is put a lot more pressure in that centre third there. Give the defenders here a chance to.
Vincent, that was a long range shot for him.
He'll probably touch the ring from the edge of the circle too, just standing there.
6'80", you said?
80,
Yeah, 80. Queensland, New South Wales with the turnover. Yuan, George, Edwards. He had a look. Vincent wasn't on. Edwards nearly caught the ball with his feet. That was nice play from Edwards. Traipsing around the outside of the circle. Miss from O'Connor.
It's amazing how they can do it in bits, but just can't put 2 or 3 good drives or 2 or 3 good centre passes together.
That's 2 in a row. Centre pass to follow. Chance to bring it back to 11.
See, they're both out for that centre pass. Both goal attacks and wing attacks are both out, leaving dead space down court. Someone's got to be down there so they can drive onto it.
Just Stark and Branch. He's so tough to get the ball around him. Hamilton, Burton, McIntyre. Ooh. McIntyre cops a knock to the head for his troubles.
One of those New South Wales defenders have got to play off Travis, just get some movement in there. It's just too easy for McIntyre just to swing around. Get the 1-2 passes in.
It's McIntyre's first for the quarter. Very low scoring quarter, 6-4, probably what they've sort of been used to over the first 3 games they've played this week. Melsheimer, that's his 30th goal. 30 from 34. Vincent's been accurate too, 13 from 15, just hasn't had quite the volume. Under 5 to go in the third quarter. McIntyre, that was all too easy. So Queensland just happy to hold the margin at the minute. Wonder if they'll make any changes in the last quarter, perhaps rest some legs for the final, or whether they'll play it out. Vincent's calling for it. It was the right choice.
The air conditioning just come on at the southern end of the court.
Oh, look, that is nice.
As you can see in the camera now, all the doors are open, windows are open.
They've got to keep the commentators cool. It's a tough gig. Watching all this action. live streaming brought to you by Game Clothing. And you have the job to select the Medals to Go player of the game. Drew, any thoughts so far?
The obvious choice was Travis and McIntyre down the front then, but I think this goalkeeper down here is feeding them enough ball to win it.
Yeah, Matthew Branch.
Yeah, he's having a great game on the Tall Timber in New South Wales, so at the moment a bit of those three, I'd say.
Yeah, I think Branch had a good game against Vic yesterday. Probably wasn't rewarded with the ball for all his efforts. He's certainly got his hands to plenty today.
Once again, Sproats and McCann just getting stuck on the shooter there. McIntyre's able to just glide in, do as he wants. Whereas O'Connor's still hanging outside the circle.
So O'Connor's first for the quarter, 2 minutes to go, margin at 13. Margin was 11 at half time, so a better quarter from New South Wales, but again, 3 really good starts to each term by Queensland seem to be the difference so far.
They seem to build into the quarter a lot quicker than New South Wales and just consolidated. Once again, both New South Wales wing attack and goal attack out on that centre pass, which is okay for that first phase. The second phase is everything's away from the ball.
Branch.
And you just can't afford those sort of misses under the post. 14 down with a minute to go in the third quarter. And of course, Queensland will just come down and just make New South Wales pay.
And they do through Melsheimer. So a minute to go in the third quarter. Margin now pushed out to 15. Just a bit of miscommunication between Spinks and Burton, and that is the first time we've seen that all game. They've been very, very clean off the centre pass. Little to no pressure from New South Wales. Oh, Branch. Great hands. Hamilton. McIntyre calls, but they steady it.
O'Connor sending a love letter there to the keeper. Go and get this intercept. Ball's about to go. Go now.
Oh, Melsheimer got up.
And once again, Queensland make the unforced errors from New South Wales pay there. Oh, wow.
Branch again. He's had a fine game. This third quarter has been his best. But they've run out of time to score another. But 41-25, New South Wales have plenty of work to do. Need to salvage some pride in this last quarter. Queensland lead by 16. So Queensland look set to have confirmed their place in the 23 and under grand final tomorrow against Victoria. Would you make any changes, Drew, to New South Wales to try and gain something back in this last 15?
Absolutely. They need someone at goal attack to be driving through the court, and they don't really have that on the bench because you've got your Stephen Bryce will come back in as shooter. They're just changing the tall timber, but I would actually pull O'Connor aside and say, listen, mate, you just got to drive in. Your target this quarter is to get that goal defence moving, leaving one-on-one, because when they're double teaming Julian or Stephen, the elevation is just killing us. So you've got to change something up, because you can see on the bench here, everything, heads are down, shoulders are slumped. It's just quiet. They're just not going through the motions now.
And not only that, there is the chance to be selected for the Australian 23 and under team for the Trans-Tasman Cup later this year. So it's probably not at the forefront of their minds at the minute, but it's also something to keep their minds on. The selectors will be out, making notes. So Queensland with the first centre pass of the last quarter. Jason Coles has come back on to the court to replace Andre Hamilton, who had a pretty good third quarter, but perhaps a bit of game management just by getting him a quarter under his belt after sitting out, from what I understand, most of yesterday.
Maybe just resting some niggles.
Got to look after him if they're going to challenge for the title tomorrow. Edwards hasn't given up at all. And Stephen Bryce is back on for New South Wales. So Vincent sits down after scoring 15 from 18 at 83%. But I think New South Wales anticipated he'd be an easier target for them, but didn't turn out to be the case. Bain is
he's back at wing defence.
Back on at wing defence for New South Wales. Replay call on Bryce.
I think the future's looking good for Queensland with some of these players on court. Like when your juniors and stuff retire. They had a very old team last year. Got to pull up a few of their 23s this year, but the future does look good. Some good young players out here, especially both edges of the court.
Yeah, I think Joblin was actually earmarked for the 20s, and a couple of injuries to the 23s he had to come through, and he certainly stood up. O'Connor now for New South. Bryce didn't want to shoot from there. Edwards. O'Connor just cuts through the front. Branch again. He's been everywhere.
He's come to his own in the second half.
And he's...
I think Coles is out there directing traffic.
Just seeking confirmation about...
Whose sideline throwing that is.
Yeah.
Not hard. It's one or two teams. They could pack a scrum. Still been effective the second half, Travis, but he just hasn't been into the game. Like he's still doing his job, but it's just, I think all the attention now has gone back to Branch down the defensive end.
McIntyre now was most prolific in that third term. 5 from 8. Queensland, they're just so quick to notice what's happening on court, first to react. Burton, yeah, just fancy feet that time. Bain is waiting for Burton to drop the ball. Edwards. Oh, great hands from Joblin. Now swing it to the other side. Bryce won't shoot that. O'Connor coasts in. Just a little short on the distance from Joblin. And O'Connor makes good.
Let's hope New South Wales fight to the end and try and get this back to within 10 goals. Finish the tournament on a high.
We've got nearly 11 minutes to do so. Already, this is Queensland's biggest score against New South Wales for the week. In fact, they achieved that at three-quarter time with 41 goals. So that just tells you how well they've been playing offensively today. George, that was very risky. But Bryce makes good. 10 to go, 16 the margin, 45 to 29. Good take from Sproats. Read it early. Bain, Edwards, O'Connor. Edwards again, Spinks with the hand in.
Once again, it's very static down at New South Wales attacking end. That's a better.
Bryce is 10 from 11. O'Connor, sorry. Flies in again. He's done that a little bit in this last quarter. He's finally got some confidence, but it's probably a little too late. Oh, too much on that from Burton. Looked like a half screen from Melsheimer. Both defenders were in the mix, in the circle. George. Edwards just flicks it up. That was a well-weighted pass into Bryce. The spin on that put it out of Branch's reach, but he's got that rebound. Joblin. Oh, Sproats had a look, and McIntyre tried to swing it to Burton, but Bain picked it off. Oh, Branch with the tip. Ball cannot be touched on its descent into the ring, so the umpire obviously deemed that it was still on its ascent. Goaltending no longer allowed in netball. Oh, Bryce, tough take.
Once again, passage after 5 minutes, New South Wales looked good for a few minutes. But once again, the Queenslanders start at 5 goals.
Yeah, so this is a far better start. This is their best start to any quarter. They've scored 8 goals already in 7.5 minutes, 8-4. And they've got a chance to put another 2 on the board through this passage of play and the centre pass to follow. New South Wales crowd starting to get a little more vocal. George, Joblin back in the circle early. That's clearly off a Queensland hand.
You think up to 52 minutes, they realise that pass isn't working when he's double marked. Just connect with the goal attack and let him drop it over the top.
And the margin is back to 10. 10 for the quarter break in favour of New South Wales. It's their equal best quarter. They scored 10 in the second quarter. They can sense the momentum has been shifting their way. There's been a bit of a lift defensively.
Funny how scoreboard pressure can do it to you. Let that scoreboard tick over.
Sproats over the McIntyre shot. Good tip from McCann. Comes up with it. Now they need some drivers. Cole just cuts it off. Spinks now looking to settle. McIntyre is happy to play it around, take some time off the clock. Off target with the shot. New South Wales will want to convert this and get back on defence quickly. Joblin picks it off. Lays it down for Spinks. Branch, Burton, back to Branch. Burton again. McIntyre, I think he wanted to throw it into the circle, but he's happy to be patient. Through the hands of Burton. Can't be on the ground to be able to pick it up. Oh, Melsheimer.
Had his first miss of the game?
Almost. He's only had, that's only his 5th miss of the game. The first for the quarter. Rolls in for McIntyre. Restores a 12-goal margin. So under 5 remaining. Victoria are awaiting the winner of this game. It looks like it will be Queensland. I don't know why McIntyre doesn't just shoot.
That's a better drive from George. That's, once again, there's movement up and down the court. It's only taken him 56 minutes to do. That's probably the best passage of play the entire game, and it's come with 4 minutes to go.
They finish it on the second attempt.
I think Stephen's trying to get his rebounding stats up.
Yeah. Wasn't the best pass from Edwards today. He's probably been New South Wales' best.
That hunger for the ball from Queensland. That's better movement from the New South Wales. They played off Travis, didn't give the feeders a target, and just picked off the long floaty ball in.
Yeah.
And then Branch is doing the same thing down the back there.
Anything you can do, says New South Wales. Oh, Bryce.
Oh dear.
Under the ring and couldn't make it count. 7 from 11 in this last quarter. 13 from 18, 72% for the game. So he's had similar stats to Vincent. But 11 goals this quarter for New South Wales. It's been their most prolific. And just 7 goals for Queensland. Been their worst. So they've been able to reduce the margin by 4 in this last term, New South Wales, but they won't take the win. Joblin. Oh, a step from Burton. 2 in a matter of 20 seconds from Queensland.
Joblin again.
Oh,
yeah.
Joblin again.
He's pushing a late claim for man of the match.
He is.
Word got back to him that Branch is the front runner so far. He says, not on my watch.
Hey, there's 2 defenders in that
That's it.
circle.
I think Joblin needs to grow into his body. He's still,
Yeah.
he's got plenty of growth left in him.
Width-wise as well. Needs a couple of protein shakes.
That's right.
Those guns will be out next, champs. Oh, picked off by O'Connor, flung it back into Bryce. .30 seconds to go in the game. This last quarter's been New South Wales' best, but it won't be enough. Joblin again. If you hadn't made up your decision, Drew, he's putting in a late request.
That's it.
Medals to go, player of the match coming up very soon. The Queensland will play Victoria in the 23 and under division grand final tomorrow night. Don't miss that one. They run out 49-38 victors over New South Wales in the preliminary final.
We're here with the player of the match, Branch from Queensland. Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
How do you find coming up against the Tall Timber from New South Wales?
They're a tough matchup, but they beat us in the rounds, and I think, we played really well that game to get the victory.
Good to see. I think the defensive unit of you three back there were just unbelievable. They put that high ball into you guys, you're just eating it up. How do you come about that?
Just communication on the court and working together as a team.
Moving forward to tomorrow, you got the Victorians. How are you going to prepare for that, and how do you think you're going to go? Silly question, I know.
Hopefully we come out strong like we did just then and can take home the win.
Well, that was noticeable in that game. The first 5 minutes on each quarter, you guys just came out and blitzed New South Wales. So congratulations and well done, and good luck tomorrow.
So Queensland will take on Victoria in the 23 and under division grand final tomorrow night. That is Friday night. So stay with us for that one. 49-38 victors over New South Wales in the preliminary final. Up next, the mixed open division. Queensland up against South Australia. Don't go anywhere.